Hello, my lovely people. Good morning to you all, and I welcome you to Linda's TV show, the home of news. If it is your first time and you like what we are doing here, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notification. Here we react to all forms of videos, local, international. And I want to seize this opportunity to put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, we do not preach misleading information, hate speech, violent or instigating war. We are only here to inform, educate about what is happening. I deserve this opportunity to appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform. If not for YouTube, I don't know how we will be able to disseminating information to the members of the public. YouTube, I appreciate you. So my great
this man who is the son of Philip Biafra, analyze the situation of Biafra.
This is in-depth analysis.
And it was bound to happen that people would rise up. My father said it. He said, if you don't treat these Biafrans well, their children will rise up. So
he said, his father said it, that if you don't treat these Biafra children very well, their children will rise up. And we have risen up now. Let me play it again.
This is in-depth analysis.
And it was bound to happen that people would rise up. My father said it. He said, if you don't treat these Biafrans well, their children will rise up. So anybody that is acting as if they are surprised.
Are you hearing it? I am bringing this up for those who will be writing to the ICC, for those who will be writing to the United Nations. We are writing too. You are not the only one writing them. You are writing the United Nations. We are writing United Nations too. You are writing to the ICC about Simon Ekpa. We are writing to the ICC too. So any place you write, we will write too. So you are not the only one who know how to write. So I want you all to listen to the history that God is using us to fulfill today. And those people that are writing those nonsense, just make sure that you don't enter Biafra the first 5 years of Biafra declaration. Make sure you stay in exile until our anger against you will come down. After 5 years, it may even be more. Don't just dream of coming to Biafra, because the fight we are fighting today has taken the life of many. So if all you do is to sit in one small place in Germany or other places to be writing rubbish, countering Biafra freedom, make sure, because we have all your informations, we have your name, we have your everything, and just make sure you don't enter Biafra the first 5 years to 10 years of Biafra declaration. Don't enter. I am telling you the fact. We may not do like the Mossad. We may not do like Israel, like what they did in the past, hunting those who were sabotaging and who have become terrorists, killing Israelis all over the world. They hunted them in Europe. They hunted them anywhere they are. We are not going to do that. We're not going to do that. But what we are telling you is that as you have made yourself the two against the freedom of Biafra people, just remain where you are. Do not come. I'm just giving you a tip that don't come. Don't come. Remain where you are, because we know you all of you from A to Z. But this is not the time to address that. So I want everybody to listen to this.
This is in-depth analysis.
And it was bound to happen that people would rise up. My father said it. He said, if you don't treat these Biafrans well, their children will rise up. So anybody that is acting as if they are surprised, they're either ignorant or they don't want to face reality. So when the people rise up and begin to agitate, like IPOB and other groups, what you need to do is give them a space. What a true leader does is create space for dialogue. Now, one of the things I praise IPOB and other pro-Biafran groups for, because I know there have been others, is that they have finally brought this story to light. They played a key role, so they must be commended for doing that. Otherwise,
The Biafra story, which his father said that If you do not treat their parent good, their children will rise against you. He acknowledged that finally we have brought the Biafra story to life. I'm going to shock many people today with the exposition we are here to do. So we have just confirmed that this Biafra story, that many people were killed in order to even continue to kill today. Today they have decided that if you talk about Biafra, you are dead. They're going to kill you. They're going to burn your house and everything. And that's exactly what is going on. But what little did they know that not even that can stop us. That can make us very strong. But now that we are going into an open confrontation, which is going to start very soon, I want everybody to listen because we are going to drag all of them into this. There will never be peace until you allow Biafra people to decide their fate in that region. It is the right. Where your rights stop is where other person's rights start. It's our right to freedom, and that is what we are fighting for. And if you think that you are more in number, you conduct a referendum and let us see how it goes. But I want everyone to listen to this particular analysis.
As nobody would care about the tragedy of our history. You know, a lot of people talk about Chimamanda's Half of a Yellow Sun as bringing the story to light. In a sense, yes. But even her book received the attention it did partly because of pro-Biafran groups and struggles. Self-determination is something that we must continue to aspire for. You know, it's not about young people only. It's not about any group of people. It's not about Igbos. It's about self-determination. And if you look at most of us here, we come from lands that provide Nigeria.
The person that you are hearing his voice is the son to General Effiong. This son to General Effiong have made so many videos in support of Biafra. That's one, again, I'm going to bring, the one that Nsima interviewed him. And you will hear what he said about Biafra. But I want you to ask yourself, an Igbo Biafran, don't our eternal general, Ojukwu, doesn't he have children? How many of his children has made a video in support of Biafra? Why is it that in the case of the Igbo Biafrans is always different? Today, the person that is in the front line of the predicament of our Prime Minister, Mazi Samoneba, is somebody who claimed to be the wife of our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu. How many of them have you seen speaking on a Biafran platform or to make a case for Biafra? How many of them? Our eternal leader have sons. He has families. Look at the son to General Effiong. He's not an Igbo Biafran. But he has been invited in so many Biafran platforms and he came up and spoke in support of Biafra. It is not necessary that he should come and join us and be part of what we are doing, but give your voice. It matters a lot. Let us continue to listen to him.
With majority of its wealth, and people have called us minorities, and we're tired of that. By the way, you also have oil on Igbo land, you know. So let's not let's make that fact clear, because it's also being used against the Igbos. The fact that they want to come and take other people's oil.
Did you hear that? He is making it very clear that you also have oil in Igbo soil. So anybody telling you do not listen to the Igbo because they want to take your oil is a complete fallacy. That is the propaganda that the ignorant people are flying all over social media. So, and he is a son to Philip Effiong, and that particular position, he has corrected it today, that Igbos also have oil in their soil. So anybody telling you we are fighting for Biafra because of oil is a propaganda. Do not believe that.
We need to understand that this is long-standing propaganda that goes back many years before many of us were born. This is propaganda that has demonized Igbos and has made us feel that we are somehow under the threat of Igbos. So that propaganda is still ongoing, even though the evidence shows that that's not true. And when I talk to my people, the things I tell them, who's your real enemy? You've been given a state since 67, and you've given the opportunity to control your geographical space and your resources. How have your lives improved? Your lives have only gotten worse. The enemy is not Igbos. The enemies are within you, your right there in your state. The political and economic elite who are ready to sell you and sell their consciences to make a profit, to make wealth. You should recognize that those are your enemies. Those who would collude with foreign national oil companies to take your wealth away from you, so that your hospitals are in such bad shape. Your roads were horrible until Akpabio came and fixed most of them. Your institutions are deteriorating. You know, you are living in poverty. You don't have, you can't even enjoy something as basic as electricity supply. So it is for us to redirect, refocus on the real enemy. And it's hard to say, you know, within this space. I understand that time is against us, but we need to refocus and recognize who the real enemy is. And the enemy is not the people that we've lived with in harmony for generations, but those who would work with our enemies to undermine our lives, even though some of those people are right within our families, are from our ethnic groups, are speaking the same languages as we are. Those are real. When we understand that that's the real enemy, I think that will help us to come together and focus on that enemy, and not focus on what propaganda has told us, which is that our neighbors, the Igbos, are our problem. Unfortunately, some of our people are buying into it and are actually turning against Igbos for that reason. If you look at people that were killed during the second coup, Major Ekanem, Major Isong, there's another name. There's someone. There was Major Rock. There was I'm trying to remember the name of someone from what is today the present Rivers State, and many others that people don't want to focus on because they want to make it seem as if it was just Igbos. Or what about the governor of the Western region? I'm trying to remember. And if someone remembers his name, let me know. He was with Ironsi when Ironsi was abducted. The name will come back. Fajui, that's his name. Yeah, Colonel Fajui. That's a Yoruba man that was killed. So the attacks, you can say in many ways they were primarily against Igbos, but they were not against Igbos because Igbos are Igbos. They were against Igbos because what they thought Igbos represented. These are the people that will challenge and prevent our complete domination and ownership of power. That's how they saw the Igbos, as people who wanted to control everything and take over power. And so anyone they felt was playing that role of trying to prevent them from gaining full power, they went after those people. That's why Fajui was killed. That's why there were attempts on my father's life. And my father had to flee from Kaduna in disguise and go to Lagos and eventually escape from Lagos to the east. Is he an Igbo man? No, my father can have.
He made a very important point here about the reason why Igbos are hated, the reason Igbos are being attacked at any point in time, the reason Igbos are seen as a threat. He just revealed that very reason. He just exposed it. That it is not just because you are an Igbo person. It is not just about that Igbo. It is because of what they represent. People that cannot keep silent and allow you to oppress them. People who will stand up to any situation and challenge it. People who are ready to challenge any authority. It doesn't matter who you are. And this is whom the Igbos are. And because that is what they represent, that was why Ottoman, what is it called? What is it called? The one that was interviewed by BBC said that we are domineering. That was why Amadou Bello used that very word. that we are domineering. So the purpose, the reason why some Yorubas today don't want to hear Igbo man, the reason why some Yorubas sponsored by Tinubu are bent on castigating and destroying the image of Igbos is because the Igbos are the ones who represent the force that can challenge anything that is wrong. Any power or force anywhere that comes, they will challenge it without looking back. They will push back. It doesn't matter how heavy, when you push them, they will push you back. And that is why the British is sponsoring everything that goes against the Biafran people, because they know the Biafrans more than you do. The reason why we are facing the hatred we are facing in Nigeria is just being exposed here by the son of General Effium. I want us to listen to him again in this very exposition that he made. Very, very important exposition he just made. Why we are hated. It is because of what we represent. It is not just about that tribe. Because you just hear him mention people who we are murdered in that cause. Even up to today, there are people that are facing the same persecution we are facing. They are not Igbos, but they are from the southeast because of what they represent. And there are some other people from the south also who, because of what they represent, they face persecution. We saw the way they also attack Debanjo, the one that died some time ago. The persecution. They will relegate you. Once they see that you are one of those who can push back, they are going to fight you to anyhow. So it is because of what we represent. That is one of the major reasons that has been exposed in this very video. I want us to pay attention.
And when I talk to my people, the things I tell them, who's your real enemy? You've been given a state since 67, and you've given the opportunity to control your geographical space and your resources. How have your lives improved? Your lives have only gotten worse. The enemy is not Igbos. The enemies are within you, you're right there in your state. The political and economic elite who are ready to sell you and sell their consciences to make a profit, to make wealth. You should recognize that those are your enemies. Those who would collude with foreign national oil companies to take your wealth away from you, so that your hospitals are in such bad shape. Your roads were horrible until Akpabio came and fixed most of them. Your institutions are deteriorating. You know, you are living in poverty. You can't even enjoy something as basic as electricity supply. So it is for us to redirect, refocus on the real enemy. And it's hard to say, within this space. I understand that time is against us, but we need to refocus and recognize who the real enemy is. And the enemy is not the people that we've lived with in harmony for generations, but those who would work with our enemies to undermine our lives, even though some of those people are right within our families, are from our ethnic groups, are speaking the same languages as we are. Those are real. When we understand that that's the real enemy, I think that will help us to come together and focus on that enemy, and not focus on what propaganda has told us, which is that our neighbors, the Igbos, are our problem. Unfortunately, some of our people are buying into it and are actually turning against Igbos for that reason. If you look at people that were killed during the second coup, Major Ekanem, Major Isong, there's another name. There's someone. There was Major Rock. There was I'm trying to remember the name of someone from what is today the present Rivers State, and many others that people don't want to focus on because they want to make it seem as if it was just Igbos. Or what about the governor of the Western region? I'm trying to remember. And if someone remembers his name, let me know. He was with Ironsi when Ironsi was abducted. The name will come back. Fajuyi, that's his name. Yeah, Colonel Fajuyi. That's a Yoruba man that was killed. So the attacks you can say in many ways they were primarily against Igbos, but they were not against Igbos because Igbos are Igbos. They were against Igbos because what they thought Igbos represented. These are the people that will challenge and prevent our complete domination and ownership of power. That's how they saw the Igbos, as people who wanted to control everything and take over power. And so anyone they felt was playing that role of trying to prevent them from gaining full power, they went after those people. That's why Fajui was killed. That's why there were attempts on my father's life. And my father had to flee from Kaduna in disguise and go to Lagos and eventually escape from Lagos to the east. Is he an Igbo man? No, my father can hardly make could hardly make a sentence in Igbo. You look at the structure, the leadership of Biafra, the secretary to the government, Enu Akpan and Ibibio man as well. You look at people who play diplomatic roles like Mr. Kobara. I think he's an Ogoni man. Or think about the person who even came up with the name Biafra, Chief Opigo. Or think about one of the major propagandists in Biafra, Okokondem. Think about one of the greatest respected field commanders, Colonel Achibong. How many of these people are Igbos? You know, so it is ridiculous. And that's how the Eastern government was on several levels. I agree, you know, with people who say, well, you know, the Igbos occupied, you know, many key positions. That's true, but not only the Igbos. You know, there were many others, some of whom I've mentioned, and the people I've mentioned were already in the Eastern government. There's the late Ekogin Ambasi, a lawyer. He was also quite significant in the Eastern region, played a number of diplomatic roles before the war. And in the war, I think he headed the Anang province and was also a militia officer. And a lot of these people were together in that body that came and demanded that it is time for us to break away. We're not wanted in this country. We need reassurance. We need safety. We're not getting it. And so we can't continue to exist in fear. We can't continue to exist in a situation where our lives are constantly destroyed. You know, I was a little boy in Enugu before the war. That's where some of the earliest battles took place. And I remember people marching on the streets and they were singing, you know, we are Biafrans fighting for survival in the name of Jesus. We shall conquer. And I remember those people. Sometimes we'll just march beside them. A lot of them were from a range of backgrounds. You could see traders there. You could see landlords. You could see teachers. So this nonsense about this thing being about the Igbos and the Igbo elite is crap. It's absolute crap, and it's one of those distortions that people use not just to denigrate Biafra, but to divide us.
Wow, that's exactly what we are talking about. Haven't listened to Philip Effiong's son, you know, saying it exactly the way it is. What they used to divide us. And, you know, he's a Biafran. So he's just trying to tell those who claim that in the Igbo, they are looking for Biafra because of oil to understand that we also have oil in Igbo land. And we are not after the oil. We are going to have what we call brain-based economy. Come and fight for your freedom and take your oil. We're not interested in that. Now, this is one of it. Now we are going into the analysis of the day, which is Nigeria, a global threat. Nigeria, a global threat. And why Nigeria must disintegrate this year to enable lasting peace. When Nigeria become a global threat, you know what that means. But before we go into that, I would like to play one audio. This audio is in Finnish. This audio was recorded, is a report from a journalist from Finland in 1968, where it was said that Biafra is going to fight war again. And the prediction of Biafra or Nigeria going into war again is happening this year. The only difference is that this war is not going to be Biafra-Nigeria war. It is going to be the indigenous people in Nigeria versus the Fulani terrorists. And that's it.
I want you to pay attention to this part. This was a program that Master Simon Ekpa held. When some of us think that Finland doesn't know what they are doing, Finland has completely sold their soul and they know what they are doing. Whatever you see them doing today, it's because of economic interest, nothing else. Whatever pronunciation of judgment against Master Simon Ekpa and all these their mushroom court discussions, they are doing it for interest purposes. The video that is going to play now is an interview, an investigation that was done, something that was written by a Finnish man, I think even in Finnish language. So they wouldn't say they don't understand. I want you to pay attention and listen. This was one of the programs that Master Simon Ekpa did that created the raising of eyebrow, that shocks the zoo, the exposition that blew them off their feet. And they began to run from pillar to pole. The British begin to go to work for them. I want you to pay attention.
Exactly what is happening. And it is going to lead to the disintegration of Nigeria for peace to come to the entire Sahel region. And by extension, to the West and to America, that Nigeria is going to sponsor terrorism if you do not disintegrate Nigeria today. I want everybody to listen to the reporter from Finland.
Nigerian liittovaltiosta eronneen Biafran takaisin palauttamiseksi käyty sota on nyt raivonut 14 kuukautta ja Biafran alue on pienentynyt kolmannekseensa. Liittovaltion joukot ovat katkaisseet kaikki maa- ja meriyhteydet ulkomaailmaan ja ainoa tie ulos Biafrasta kulkee lentokentän kautta. Biafran nykyisin 11-miljoonainen kansa taistelee pienellä muutaman 10 000 miehen armeijallaan monta kertaa suurempaa Nigerian liittovaltion armeijaa vastaan, joka armeija kuitenkaan sekään ei ole eurooppalaisen mittapuun mukaan suuri. Sotaa käydään melkein yksinomaan teitä pitkin ja biafralaiset ovat joutuneet perääntymään kuukausi kuukaudelta, kilometri kilometriltä hitaasti, mutta varmasti. Suurimmat taistelut käydään tällä hetkellä eteläisellä rintamalohkolla ja vastakkain armeijoiden komentajina ovat siellä raakuudestaan kuuluisa kenraali Adekundle Nigerian puolella ja saksalaissyntyinen ammattisotilas kenraali Rudolf Steiner biafralaisten puolella. Rudolf Steiner on 38-vuotias Ranskan muukalaislegioonan entinen kersantti, joka tuli Biafraan viime joulukuussa ja nimitettiin nykyiseen asemaansa elokuussa. Viime torstaina hän kuvasi Abassa sotilaallista tilannetta omalla lohkollaan seuraavaan tapaan.
Wenn wir genauso viel Waffen und Munition hätten wie der Feind, in drei Monaten wäre der Krieg zu Ende.
Aber nun?
Nun, das kommt drauf an. Ich rechne mit Hilfe.
Jos meillä olisi yhtä paljon ammuksia ja aseita kuin vihollisella, loppuisi sota 3 kuukaudessa, sanoo kenraali Steiner. Mutta nyt lasken kaiken avun varaan, vaikka tästä asiasta ei ole esitettävissä mitään kouriin tuntuvaa. Nykyisellä avustusmäärällä, jonka me saamme, ja jos se pysyy ennallaan, sota kestää 1–5 vuoteen. Uskon, että aivan lähiaikoja ajatellen sissisota on ainoa tai paras keino vapauttaa tämä maa eräänä päivänä.
I want you to understand, this is the only thing I want you to listen. And this is the only thing I want to interpret. Senator Rolf Stenal said it very clear that he believed that Biafra will be free from Nigeria, but that would not happen without war. He believed also that someday Biafra, Nigeria, is going to go into war again for the second time. And by then, Biafra will be freed. You see, it is important for you to follow follow history. Follow history so that you will not be misled. The Rolf Stenner said from his experience that there is no way Nigeria will remain as one country. That one day Nigeria will go into war again and Biafra will get freedom. And they're going to get that freedom through war. As I'm talking to you now, the war has started. The war that this Rolf Stenner was predicting, including Ojukwu was predicting, have already started. You are not seeing it. We will make it public now. From today, we're going to be making this war. Of course, you see the way they are burning, they are burning our places and all that. That is war going on. Apart from the fact that they are killing our young men and all that, war is already going on. But what I want to tell you is that
now you can understand the intentional involvement of Finland into this case. This was a report that was given by a Finnish journalist as far back as 1968. 1968, during the Civil War. This man gave this prediction. A Finnish man in Finland language, a very big journalist. And with all these informations that Finland has, with everything that they know, Finland still have the gut to work with Nigeria against Biafra. And by the way, do you know that the wife of Alestor is a British? How many of you know that the wife of Alestor is a British woman? Now you understand why was it Abraham? I think Abraham warned his children not to marry from a certain region. You see why some people were warning their children, don't marry from here, don't marry from there. Do you know that the wife of Alestor is a British woman? Now, with every information that Finland has about Biafra, even their own journalists reported as far back as 1968. But today, Finland is the one that is in the front line to make sure that Biafra doesn't come to materialize. Even though they know that Biafra must come. At a point in time, Biafra must come by fire, by force. They know. A journalist investigated and saw it clearly and predicted it. A Finnish journalist. This is just one. There was one of the women again that attended one of the Igbo celebration that they did in Finland when our Prime Minister was their chairman. The woman also explained how she works as a humanitarian worker in Biafra land during that civil war. She was in Biafra land throughout the civil war. A very old woman. I still have the video of the woman here. But with all this information, this was one of the expositions that blew their feet. They begin to run helter-skelter and begin to say, if they don't stop this man, if they don't drive him away, they shut down his social media network. It didn't work. Shut down YouTube. It didn't work. He went to Twitter. They begin to plan. The next thing is to stop him from coming out completely. But we will never be silent.
They are also going down. They come to kill in our land. We also defend ourselves. And they are not finding it easy. They are too ashamed to say it. They are too ashamed to make it public. So the secret war has been going on for 2 years. A lot of you don't know what you call insecurity is not insecurity. They present it. They come to tell you this one is a criminal, that one is a criminal, war is that some kidnappers are there. There is nothing like that. What you see.
And this is exactly what that woman, a journalist in Biafra land, that our lady, that Biafran woman that is the journalist that always speak the truth. The same thing she said, that there is another Biafran war going on in Biafran territory without people knowing. So it is not just Master Simon that said it. That woman is still saying it tomorrow. The last report she brought, after she went and made that research, she said, that was the language she used. That wherever you are as an Igbo person, know that Hausa Batagoka. She came out and said this same thing that was what she was saying. That woman was saying that there is a Biafran war. Second Biafran war is already going on. I will look for the video, maybe I see it and play it so you can hear. This is why they took Mazi Simon Ekpa away, because he was making the secret war open. Mazi Simon Ekpa vowed to make the secret war open, and he continued to make the secret war they are fighting against Biafra. He made it open for the world to see what is happening. And he went ahead, he was sharing it on X, showing them the secret war that they're fighting, that they came on national TV to declare. The Nigerian conventional media never went one day to go and see how they are carrying out this their jungle warfare, this their symmetric warfare. They never go. They sit in their office and they will write script for them to read, and they read, and that's what they do. And Mazi Simon Ekpa decided to make it public for the world to know what is going on in Biafra land. And because they don't want people to know. They don't want people to know. That is why Finland sold their conscience, even though they have this information. And they are bent on holding down Mazi Simon Ekpa. It is a shame.
Going on is war. And now that we are going to make this war public, you will understand the dimension of things. That what you think is insecurity are not actually insecurity. That are already what we call secret war. So I'm going to play it again for you people to listen. But of course, I'm not playing this for those who don't understand Finnish. I'm playing it for those who understand Finnish. But the only thing I want to interpret,
let Finnish people, Finland government, let's stop. I hope he's hearing it.
Announced, or they reported that Rolf Stenner, the German mercenary, said that Nigeria will go to war again and Biafra will one day get freedom, but it must come through war. I want you to listen to that again for the second time.
Kuukautta, ja Biafran alue on pienentynyt kolmannekseensa. Liittovaltion joukot ovat katkaisseet kaikki maa- ja meriyhteydet ulkomaailmaan, ja ainoa tie ulos Biafrasta kulkee lentokentän kautta. Biafran nykyisin 11-miljoonainen kansa taistelee pienellä muutaman 10 000 miehen armeijallaan monta kertaa suurempaa Nigerian liittovaltion armeijaa vastaan, joka armeija kuitenkaan sekään ei ole eurooppalaisen mittapuun mukaan suuri. Sotaa käydään melkein yksinomaan teitä pitkin ja biafralaiset ovat joutuneet perääntymään kuukausi kuukaudelta, kilometri kilometriltä, hitaasti, mutta varmasti. Suurimmat taistelut käydään tällä hetkellä eteläisellä rintamalohkolla ja vastakkain armeijoiden komentajina ovat siellä raakuudestaan kuuluisa kenraali Adekundle Nigerian puolella ja saksalaissyntyinen ammattisotilas kenraali Rudolf Steiner biafralaisten puolella. Rudolf Steiner on 38-vuotias Ranskan muukalaislegioonan entinen kersantti, joka tuli Biafraan viime joulukuussa ja nimitettiin nykyiseen asemaansa elokuussa. Viime torstaina hän kuvasi Abassa sotilaallista tilannetta omalla lohkollaan seuraavaan tapaan.
Wenn wir genauso viel Waffen und Munition hätten wie der Feind, in drei Monaten wäre der Krieg zu Ende.
Aber nun?
Nun, das kommt drauf an. Ich rechne mit Hilfe.
Jos meillä olisi yhtä paljon ammuksia ja aseita kuin vihollisella, loppuisi sota 3 kuukaudessa, sanoo kenraali Steiner. Mutta nyt lasken kaiken avun varaan, vaikka tästä asiasta ei ole esitettävissä mitään kouriin tuntuvaa. Nykyisellä avustusmäärällä.
And this one is very important as well. Rolf Stenner said that if Biafra had arms and ammunition, that they would defeat Nigeria within 3 months. But because there were no arms and ammunition, the situation suggests that this war may last up to 5 years. You see, the same thing they are afraid of today. When you talk, they tell you, where is the weapon? Not that they don't actually want to fight Biafra to free, but they will ask you, where is your weapon? Yet, there are many Biafrans who call themselves Igbo billionaires, always parading themselves on social media, and they are only on celebrity, and they are parading themselves, and they claim they get money. They claim they have money, they claim they are wealthy, yet they don't want to bring the money to fight for the freedom of their people. When you talk, they will tell you where is the arms and ammunition. And they want to compare themselves with the Israelis. Why Israel, why the Jewish businessmen in America came together, brought their money. They brought money during the time when Israel went to war for the liberation of Israel. They brought money. They had money, the Jewish people in America. Today, when you talk about the Biafra people, they ask you, where do you have the weapon? Not that they don't know that you actually need to fight to get your freedom, but they will want you to say, where is your weapon? Only when you show them weapon, they are going to support you. Is that not stupidity? But we're not going to look at them. There is something that we are going to do to them when the time comes. But I'm telling you today that you see, we will surprise all of you very soon. When we will come out, you are going to look for us, and we will not be reachable. I want everybody to watch this.
Jonka me saamme, ja jos se pysyy ennallaan, sota kestää 1–5 vuoteen. Uskon, että aivan lähiaikoja ajatellen sissisota on ainoa tai paras keino vapauttaa tämä maa eräänä päivänä. Nigerialaisilla on Aban rintamalla noin 30 000 miestä ja meillä on 5 000 miestä, sanoi Steiner. Nigerialaisilla on tykistöä, englantilaisia Saladin-panssareita ja Ferret-panssariautoja. Heillä on kaikkea, mitä tarvitaan nykyaikaisen sodan käymiseen. Meillä on tykistöä, mutta ei granaatteja. Olemme saaneet 5–6 tykkiä sotasaaliksi, muuten olemme käsiaseiden varassa. Vihollinen on nyt rauhallisempi, sen eteneminen pysäytettiin 2 päivää sitten. Ennen sitä pojillemme annettiin määräys pitää asemansa ja annettiin 2 panosta. Ymmärrättehän, miten siinä käy. Minä en ainakaan yrittäisi ottaen huomioon senkin, että toinen näistä on säilytettävä itseä varten, sanoo Steiner.
Pour défendre la position, vous voyez ce que c'est? Alors c'est très difficile, psychologiquement parlant. Je me mettrai pas moi avec 2 cartouches pour tenir un front, vu que je tiendrai la dernière pour moi. C'est problématique.
Muiden lehtimiesten takia Steiner vaihtoi välillä puhumansa kielen ranskaksi. Hän kertoi menevänsä silloin torstai-iltapäivänä Oken rintamalle, joka Steinerin mielestä on tärkeämpi kuin Aban rintama. Aba on poliittinen tavoite. Abassa on vain osoitettava, että vihollinen ei kykene menettelemään mielensä mukaan. Mutta toisella rintamalla on torjuttava vihollisen strategisia päämääriä. Sieltä käsin se voi yrittää eristää Ibomaan itäosan kokonaan. Ja silloin sotilaallinen vastarinta voi kokonaan luhistua. Tässä vaiheessa ei vielä voida siirtyä tavanomaista sodankäynnistä sissisotaan. Sodankäynti on täällä erilaista, sanoo Steiner. Henkilökohtaisesti en epäröisi tappaa nigerialaista, joka on tappamassa siviiliväkeä, mutta kun esimerkiksi haavoittunut vihollissotilas joutuu käsiimme, pidän luonnollisena, että noudatamme kansainvälisiä sopimuksia, vaikka emme olekaan niissä sopimuspuolina. Nigerialaisethan ovat sitoutuneet noudattamaan niitä, mutta eivät käytännössä tee niin, väittää Steiner.
Now, I do not need to go more into this particular report from Finland in 1968. I'm going to make this full report, which is about 16 minutes, available to every Biafran on YouTube. So we are going to stream it live on YouTube, and it's just about 16 minutes. And this is the national broadcasting of Finland called Yle. So it is there, available in their archive. And I want you also to listen to how we start this exposition this evening, how Nigeria is a global threat and why it must end this year for peace to reign. I want every one of you to pay very much attention to what we're about to do. Right. We have activated the membership only because of the people constituting nuisance here. Right. I want you all to understand this. We are about to start one of the, best expositions so far on how Nigeria has become a global threat. Now, this particular video you are about to listen was recorded a few years ago.
They're willing to cooperate because of that, because they know each other, because there's some tribal ties and engagements that allow them to work together, whereas in other parts of the world they have different objectives and a little bit different view. And so that tends to bring Islamic State and Al-Qaeda into conflict. Here, they're able to overcome that, and that's what, and work for a common purpose in their mind.
Now, he is explaining that in Nigeria, in Sahel, in Africa, the Islamic State has been able to overcome their differences, and they are now working for the same purpose. And this has happened only in Nigeria and the Sahel region. The Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State, and all terrorists have been able to overcome their differences in that Nigeria and in the entire region. And the reason why they overcome their differences is because they want to make Nigeria their safe haven. I want you all to listen to this.
Mike, after the fall of Kabul,
we are having a very important, very, very important exposition today. Because some of you do not understand what is going on, and you need to understand what is going on. All right, so now we go. We are going to start by playing the first video, or the second video, sorry. Or let's say the first video. Yeah.
They're willing to cooperate because of that, because they know each other, because there's some tribal ties and engagements that allow them to work together, whereas in other parts of the world they have different a little bit different view. And so that tends to bring Islamic State and Al-Qaeda into conflict. Here, they're able to overcome that, and that's what, and work for a common purpose in their mind.
Very good. It was nice. She's in here, so that's just the headquarters.
I think long term, and we don't know when this will happen, but long term they want to establish themselves. They want to establish a caliphate, and they are willing. We know they have not only the desire, but the will to attack the United States next.
Are you hearing that? This man, the general from the US, confirmed that with what is happening in Nigeria today, that they know that Boko Haram, Islamic State, Al-Qaeda, all of them have joined forces together in Nigeria to overrun Nigeria. And then after that, that they are going to attack the United States and the West. That is the reason why you see Nigeria a global threat, and why it must be dissolved this year, 2023, for lasting peace. So now, when you dissolve Nigeria, what this general predicted that is going to happen many years ago, of course, is already happening. So when you dissolve Nigeria, you are actually saving the attack against America. When you dissolve Nigeria, you are actually saving attack against the West. When you dissolve Nigeria, you are also saving the life of African people. You are also saving the life of Biafrans. So you see, what we are fighting for is not the presidency of Nigeria. It's not to resource control. We are fighting for survival. We are fighting to safeguard our unborn children and unborn generation. This is what many people don't understand. That with what is going on today, we have gone over those, beyond those things of resource, be Nigeria better, because we are now fighting for survival. It is when you are alive, you can do something. So that is the reason why we are going to put our life online, to make sure that we do not validate Nigeria in Biafra territory this year. So I want you people to understand that with this analysis and what you are going to watch again, you will understand that Nigeria has become a global threat. And this is manifesting every day by day.
But long term, they want to establish caliphate, and they are willing. We know they have not the will to attack the United States in the West.
You said that they will establish a caliphate. Establish this caliphate that they know, the Americans know that what is going on in Nigeria, that they are willing to attack the United States and attack the West. And that's exactly what they are going to do. So by the time they lay at their hand on our resources, by the time they are in control and in charge of our resources, they will be shipping and exporting terrorists to America and to Europe. And you'll be seeing terrorist attack everywhere. That is the idea. That is the plan. And exactly what is going on today. Now, I want you all to listen to this man again.
I think long term, and we don't know when this will happen, but long term they want to.
He said long time, and that he don't know, that they don't know when this thing is going to happen. Today, I am telling America Intelligence Agency that that thing they said they don't know when it is going to start happening has started happening now. He said here that he don't know when it will happen. He said they don't know when it will start happening. So I am calling the attention that it is happening now. And that is why everybody must keep quiet. Why we make sure we dissolve Nigeria this year. You must keep quiet. Don't interfere. Since you cannot bring solution, don't interfere. We have the solution and we are going to solve our problem by ourselves. Nobody should interfere anywhere. If you bring arms to support Nigeria, we will fight you. Because I know by the time we start, many countries will come. It is the best interest of everybody is fighting for interest. So by the time we start this fight this year, which already started, we only want to make it public, you are going to come to us. If you like, go and supply Nigeria with weapon and let us see who is going to fight and use your weapon to fight against us. You are going to fight a war that you can never win. Because as I'm talking to you today, every indigenous people in Nigeria, they want to, everybody want out. The same thing you are scared of, it is something the other tribe in Nigeria are scared of. So we are ready. But what we are saying is that do not interfere. If you interfere, we will fight you. We will fight you. It doesn't matter who you are. Whether you are America, we are going to make friends with your enemy and fight you back. It is going to happen. But I just pray that it doesn't go to that extent. So keep away, keep yourself away. Since all of you, the America, Europe, everybody is quiet. Just remain silent and allow us to fight our fight and get our freedom this year. As simple as that. Whether we are going to kill ourselves is not your business. Because you have demonstrated not to be your business. You have demonstrated that the only thing that matters to you is our natural resources. So keep quiet. European Union must keep quiet. The United Nations must keep quiet. You know, when I speak like this, some people, some idiots in Finland, so those who don't know their left and right, who cannot even stand me, they will be, hiding in their wardrobe and be writing nonsense. I said, we are going to play the audio of the meeting we had in Finland. So there is nothing like Igbo community. Igbos don't have community in Finland. What we have in Finland is Igbo Union in Helsinki, Igbo Union in Turku, Igbo Union in Vasa. There is nothing like Igbo community. And that is why all these Fulani propagandist media, like Vanguard News, will be writing rubbish. Somebody who is Kisology, nobody who knows Kisology, will put his name in a paper and they are writing it. They only end on social media. On social media. The only thing they achieve is that I'm talking about it like this. They can't do nothing. These are non-entities. These are the people that I know. And they know my capacity. They know me. They know the capacities of Biafrans in Finland. They hide the other, the thing is that some people don't even know the people that they are calling Igbo community. People that don't have nothing. People that are worthless individuals. In the meeting, the other one was, we are going to post every picture of those who are in that meeting. We'll post all their pictures for Biafrans to see them. Because when we were in the meeting, it was supposed to be a secret meeting and would never arrive at any resolution. The meeting, when we arrived at meeting, everybody dropped their phone. Everybody dropped their phone. Nobody went to the meeting hall with phone. They were asking questions. I responded and addressed every single question they asked. And they were happy. Even the so-called Kisology, very sluggish and very stupid guy, all of them, I addressed their question. And then after that, him, the so-called Kisology, went and physically assaulted one of the Biafra elder in that place, kicked his scrotum. These are the people that they will put their name on a paper and Vanguard will carry it. Because everything that is against Ekpa, whether it's a doggo, they are going to carry it. Whether it's a mbe, whether it's a tortoise, they are going to carry it. Whoever writes anything against Ekpa, just write something. Just say you are writing against Ekpa. Then you have made name. They are going to carry you on Vanguard. Vanguard is what they are. Sahara Reporter, everybody will carry it. Just, if you want your name to be on Nigerian newspaper, just write against Ekpa, you are there. But you see, not everything will address. There are things that will address itself. First of all, there is no Igbo community in Finland. There is no address. There is nothing like Igbo community in Finland. What you have in Finland is Igbo Union. And the people that made Igbo Union in Finland was not where these whole people who wrote this nonsense, where they were not there. I was the chairman of Igbo Union for 4 years. All the ex-chairmen that was in that meeting, nobody was. Everybody, with the meeting, everybody left. And the next thing is that they were, because that was exactly the reason. First of all, they shared secular, and the secular was being shared in all Nigeria, all this Nigeria P2B WhatsApp group. These are the people who cannot make ordinary press release for the killing in Igbo. I want to tell you people one story. These people, Finland, you see, some years back, we bought wheelchair to send to Igbo. These are the people that are writing about Igbo. We bought wheelchair to send to Igbo. And after we bought wheelchair, they begin to argue which state we should send the wheelchair. Some people say Enugu. Some people say Ebonyi. Some people say Imo State. Some people say Anambra. Some people say, oh, there are some people in Abia State. They begin to drag where to send wheelchair that Igbo Union in Finland bought. Before that wheelchair was even launched, the man that is writing as assigning as a chairman of Igbo Union today sabotaged it. He made sure that the Igbo Union chairman then did not succeed. At the end of the day, After 2 good years or 3 good years, the wheelchair was packed and they are looking for where to send the wheelchair to. At the end of the day, the wheelchair was shipped to Nigeria. Now, share the wheelchair to the people who call themselves Igbo Union in Finland. Not share wheelchair. For many years, it was me, Simon Ekpa, that single-handedly bought the wheelchair from Igbo Union Finland. I bought the wheelchair. Before I bought those wheelchairs, all the wheelchairs were, all of them were just, they have been, rust. The rust is everywhere. I bought the wheelchair, all of them, I bought the wheelchair. And I sent it to Ebonyi State to be given to people that are handicapped. Igbo Union Finland could not send ordinary wheelchair. They could not decide where to send this wheelchair. I single-handedly bought it from them. Many years back. Today, these are the people that will come to write about Igbo. Have you ever heard anything about Finland, about Igbo Finland? It is because of this Biafra struggle that you are hearing Igbo Finland now. Do you know where Finland is? Do you know that there is something like Finland before? It is because of this Biafra. These are people who are worthless, non-entities. People that can't talk when I'm talking. They will hide themselves and write sign signature. They say Igbo Union. Did you see logo? Have you not seen the thing they say a letter from Igbo community? Is that how Igbo community should be? It is just desperation. Desperate. Igbo community that doesn't have logo. Igbo community that doesn't have address. Igbo community that just write in paper. Isn't that not an insult? There is nothing like Igbo community in Finland. Like I'm saying it now, it's in public. They could not, this Igbo Finland, Igbo Union in Finland, they could not, nothing. When I was the chairman, I was the one that saw the offer. When I was the chairman of Igbo Union in Finland, they recognized Igbo Union. We were inducted into Finland 100 years anniversary. I did it. Including finance. I got finance from Finland to support Igbo Union. How many of them have done it? So all this nonsense, people that are worthless, non-entity, they just carry name. We are Igbo Union, executive. The other one, they call Obi West, carrying paper, writing rubbish. So people that cannot stand where people are talking. But when I will remember them is coming, not now. We are fighting for Biafra. Shebi Obi, is it not February? February. I will keep quiet and watch them. Let us finish this. Let us finish this fighting. We are going to fight. Nigeria is not going to conduct election in Biafra land. After that, we are going to count how the going forward is, how it's going to be. So disregard anything Igbo community. There is nothing like Igbo community. These are non-entities, people that have nothing to offer to the community that they claim they are the executive. They have nothing to offer. Not brain, not wisdom, nothing to offer. Ordinary wheelchair, not even new wheelchair, old wheelchair. Achikota Tingwom wheelchair. These people could not share to Ndibu. And I handedly bought it from them and shared to people in Ebonyi State. I did it, and I'm proud of that. And I will do it again tomorrow because they have nothing to offer.
Hello, my wonderful people. As we have finished watching this interesting video, please, I want to see your comment, your contribution, your opinion in the comment section. Like I said earlier, let us do it constructively. Tell me what you think about this video that you have just watched, and also about the platform. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please remember to subscribe, put on your notification bell, share this video, and remain blessed.